In the 41st millennium, there is only war. It is not clean, it is not heroic, and it is not kind. It is a universe of broken empires, forgotten gods, immortal warlords, and endless betrayal. Here we break down Warhammer 40k, the legions, the Xenos, the traitors, the myths, the real story. This episode covers the first 5 chapters of our deep dive into the Imperial Space Marines, their origins, their philosophy, their decision at the edge of heresy. If you want cinematic deep dives into the darkest universe in fiction, subscribe. Because in this galaxy, war is only the beginning. Before Guilliman wrote the rulebook, before Sanguinius became legend, before Horus betrayed everything, there was the first. Legion 1, the Dark Angels, the Emperor's original executioners. Their Primarch, Lion L. Johnson, was raised on the death world of Caliban, a planet of endless forests and monstrous beasts. Knights hunted in the darkness there. Orders swore oaths in torchlit halls. Secrets were currency. The Lion grew up alone in those forests, feral, brilliant, deadly. When the Emperor arrived, he didn't find a barbarian warlord. He found a Night King. Caliban would later be destroyed during the Horus Heresy, shattered in a cataclysm, when brother turned on brother. Now, the Dark Angels operate from The Rock, a mobile fortress monastery built from the largest remaining fragment of their broken world. Imagine fighting from a flying chunk of your dead planet. That's their vibe. The Fall. During the Horus Heresy, part of the Legion turned traitor. They followed Luther, the Lion's former mentor. While the Lion fought across the galaxy, Caliban rotted with resentment. When he returned, it was to civil war. The traitors, now known as the Fallen, were cast through time and space by the fury of the warp. Some emerged centuries in the future. Some appeared thousands of years in the past. They are ghosts scattered across the timeline. And the Dark Angels hunt them. All of them. Organization and unique units. The Dark Angels don't just follow the Codex Astartes. They have their own inner structure. Only the highest-ranking members know the truth about the Fallen. Every battle is a step toward redemption. Everyone else fights in ignorance. Deathwing, the first company. Bone-white Terminator armor. They teleport directly into the heart of the enemy. They don't knock. Ravenwing, black-armored rapid assault hunters. Bikes, speeders, relentless pursuit. If there is a Fallen sighting, Ravenwing finds him. Deathwing ends him. Famous battles. The Great Crusade. The Lion against Conrad Kurz of the Night Lords. A brutal shadow war waged across dozens of star systems. The War of the Beast in M32, when the Dark Angels stood against a massive orc invasion threatening Terra itself. Against chaos incursions, against alien empires, against the enemies of mankind. But here's the truth. If they discover one of the Fallen on the battlefield, that becomes the real war. There were 20 legions. 2 were erased. The second legion has no name, no symbol, No recorded Primarch. Every archive, scrubbed. Every monument, removed. And if, one day, some distant expedition uncovers a dead world, marked only by unfamiliar heraldry, the Imperium will not celebrate the discovery. It will bury it. Again.
They were the most perfect legion, literally. They bore the Emperor's own name, the Emperor's children, the Third Legion. Their Primarch was Fulgrim. He was found on Chemos, a dying industrial world choking on its own decay. And he rebuilt it, forged it into a shining monument to human achievement. Before the Heresy, their armour gleamed royal purple, trimmed in gold. Across their chests, the Imperial Aquila, a privilege granted to no other legion. They had no formal battle cry. They didn't need one. Perfection was their creed. They were not merely good, they were exemplary. From almost extinct to elite. When Fulgrim finally reunited with his legion, there were barely 200 Marines left. A gene seed catastrophe had nearly wiped them out before they had even begun. They were forced to train alongside the Lunar Wolves, Horus's legion, just to survive. But once they were rebuilt, they became the gold standard. Their defense of the Emperor during the Proximan Rebellion earned them an honor no other legion possessed. The right to wear the Aquila. The Emperor himself named them. That's how trusted they were. The flaw. But perfection is a dangerous goal. Fulgrim mastered everything. War, article, poetry, strategy. And once you've mastered everything, you begin chasing sensation. That hunger is what Slaanesh feeds on. The fall. Horus didn't need to push very hard. Fulgrim was already drifting. His confrontation with Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands sealed it. At the drop site massacre of Istvan V, the Emperor's children turned on their loyalist brothers. Ferrus Manus died, and the Legion's fall became permanent. The Siege of Terra. When the traitors reached Terra, the Emperor's children no longer cared about victory. While the World Eaters assaulted the walls, the Emperor's children slaughtered civilians in the outer districts. Not for strategy, not for conquest, for sensation, for excess, for experience. Some rumours claim they distilled the carnage into narcotic concoctions just to feel more. That's how far they had fallen. What they are now. After Horus died, the Legion shattered. What remained scattered into the Eye of Terror. Today, they exist as fractured warbands, drifting through madness and excess. Their armour now? Garish pinks, violent purples, blinding gold. Exaggerated crests, twisted forms, mutations worn like trophies. And their signature weapon? Sonic weaponry. Noise Marines. They don't just kill you, they liquefy you with sound. To them, battle is music. Suffering is art. And Fulgrim? Many believe he ascended to demonhood. A demon Primarch of Slaanesh, somewhere within the warp, ruling over a world of endless excess, still chasing perfection, still never satisfied. Once they were the Emperor's pride. Now, They are the embodiment of excess without limits. And they will burn entire worlds just to feel something new.
They weren't heroes. They weren't celebrated. But when the Imperium needed a fortress broken, they called the Iron Warriors. Masters of siege, architects of attrition, the Imperium's most resentful sons. The mind of Perturabo. Their Primarch, Perturabo, was discovered on Olympia, a mountainous world locked in endless war. Sieges weren't rare there. They were normal. From a young age, Perturabo learned one lesson. War isn't about glory. War isn't about honor. War is about results. When the Emperor arrived, Perturabo pledged loyalty and brought with him a mind built for dismantling empires. Under his command, the Iron Warriors became the Imperium's siege specialists. If a world was entrenched, if an enemy refused to yield, if the cost would be horrific, the Iron Warriors were sent, and they always got the job done. Resentment in steel. There was just one problem. While Rogel Dorn and the Imperial Fists were praised for building walls, the Iron Warriors were ordered to die breaking them. Again, and again, and again. They were overused, undercredited, sent to grind themselves down in wars of attrition while others claimed glory. Perturabo watched it all, and resentment hardened inside him, like reinforced steel. The Heresy. When Horus turned against the Emperor, the Iron Warriors didn't hesitate for long. They didn't fall for faith. They didn't kneel to gods. They sided with Horus because they were done being tools. At Istvan V, they proved their loyalty to the rebellion with industrial efficiency. Brother turned on brother. Fortresses burned. The galaxy cracked open. Siege of Terra. When the traitor legions reached Terra, the Iron Warriors stood before the walls of the Imperial Palace. And across those walls stood Rogel Dorn. This wasn't just another battle. This was a rivalry forged over decades. Builders versus breakers. The Iron Warriors brought artillery, siege towers, relentless bombardment. They didn't fight for glory. They fought to prove a point. The Iron Cage. After the Heresy, Perturabo wasn't finished. On Sebastus IV, he constructed the Eternal Fortress, a masterpiece of layered defenses and calculated cruelty. It was a trap, and the Imperial Fists walked straight into it. The battle that followed, later known as the Iron Cage, left both sides shattered. For Perturabo, it wasn't about victory. It was about vindication. Iron within, iron without. Unlike many traitor legions, the Iron Warriors don't worship chaos with ecstatic devotion. They value control, precision, cold logic. They replace flesh with steel. They engineer demon engines like weapons, not idols. They don't scream for the gods. They build war machines. Their war cry says everything. Iron within, iron without. Strength is internal. Strength is external. Emotion is weakness. The Legion today. From their demon world of Medrengard, the Iron Warriors continue their campaigns of attrition. They fight alongside the Dark Mechanicum. They deploy engines of war that grind cities into dust. They wage wars measured not in days, but in depletion. They don't fight for beauty. They don't fight for faith. They fight for steel and for grudges that never rust. They don't build fortresses. They don't hold the line. They don't grind wars down over decades. They arrive like a storm. They strike like lightning. And before the enemy understands what happened, they're gone. This is the 5th Legion, the White Scars. Their Primarch, Jagatai Khan, was discovered on the windswept world of Chogoris. A world of open plains, endless horizons, nomad tribes who lived and died in the saddle. The Khan was raised among warriors who valued speed, freedom, and personal honor above all else. To them, walls were cages, cities were stagnation, hesitation was death. When the Emperor found him, the Khan did not kneel out of blind devotion. He joined because the stars were simply a larger step, and he intended to ride across all of it. The Way of War. Once reunited with his legion, the Khan reshaped them in his image. The White Scars abandoned rigid formation warfare. They perfected mobility, outrider squads, attack bikes, rapid strike forces, encirclement tactics that shattered armies before they could redeploy. They did not wage wars of attrition. They waged wars of momentum. Where the Iron Warriors batter walls, the White Scars flow around them. They cut supply lines, isolate commanders, collapse entire fronts through speed alone. To fight them is to fight the wind. You can't grab it. You can't hold it. You can only realize, too late, you're already surrounded. The Horus Heresy. Before the Heresy, Jagatai Khan was close to Horus. He respected him, trusted him. So when rebellion erupted, the Khan did something rare. He thought. He listened. He weighed the arguments. For a moment, the fate of the 5th Legion hung in balance. Had he chosen differently, Terra might have fallen. But in the end, he chose the Emperor. Not because he was ordered to, because he believed Horus threatened something worse than tyranny, the loss of humanity's future. And once the White Scars committed, they committed fully. They carved through supply lines, struck vulnerable fleets, disrupted entire sectors. They did not win glory through speeches. They won it through motion. Speed as a weapon. The White Scars do not endure war. They outmaneuver it. Flow over stubbornness, adaptability over rigidity. Where others hold ground, they create opportunity. Where others entrench, they reposition. For the Khan, it is not shouted in fury. It is declared in momentum. Where they are now. In the 41st millennium, the White Scars remain one of the Imperium's most mobile chapters. Their fleets are fast, their deployments sudden, their doctrines unchanged. They still value speed above all, still distrust bureaucracy, still believe that freedom within loyalty is strength. They are not the loudest legion. They are not the most numerous. But when the White Scars arrive, the war accelerates. And when they leave, only dust remains. The galaxy burns, and this is only the beginning. 5 chapters down, countless more to go. But next, we leave the warriors of mankind behind, because something far worse is coming. If you want the full breakdown, origins, evolution, and how they consume entire worlds, subscribe to Ashes of Terra. And tell me in the comments, which faction should we dissect next? Because in this galaxy, only the ashes remain.